Happy Halloween! And we are so grateful that you would choose to spend Hallows Eve with us. We are being Nat20Hot, a tremendous group of individuals who love to play Dungeons and Dragons together. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. You've chosen session 77 to start tuning into the internet's finest Dungeons and Dragons live play. That happens on a Wednesday night. And there are a few other things that you could be doing that are better than this, and I challenge you to name even three of them. But here we are, enjoying each other's company and welcoming you to another very exciting episode of Nat 20 Hot. If you are tuning in for the first time, you should know that we do this for fun. We're a homebrew campaign that likes to play together, but we also do this for the kids. You can go ahead and check the link in our chat for a link to our Extra Life team page, where you can find a link to a wonderful charity that supports children's hospitals around the country, funding critical and life saving care to children in need. And with that, we'll go ahead and get on with our Halloween extravaganza. Second year in a row, we've got a Halloween extravaganza going on. Very exciting. Because the last time out, our party of adventurers split up a little bit. Dunk went off to the Ashen Moor to study more upon his condition with the Grand Magister, Morgana, as well as while the rest of the party returned to the Descent to see what could be found in the remnants of Gwen's domain. They were able to find a fair number of her personal journals that seemed to document her very long, very significant life, as well as a number of books that seemed to predate the known world, as well as a number of magical scrolls of some great significance that have now come into the party's collection. And I encourage you to remind the Bank of Dunk about those specifically. As you descended deeper into the laboratory, you did manage to find a very peculiar looking device that seemed to, upon interacting with, communicate with the figure below, requiring a very peculiar salami oriented chant to activate its. Yes, indeed. Hold on, I don't have audio from you guys again. Let's just change this here.
Mommy.
There
Crystal
we go.
mommy.
Okay.
Crystal
Show me the
Got
mommy.
it.
mommy.
I heard that
Okay.
if you say that
Um,
5 times in the mirror, you just die.
You get transported to an Italian deli.
that was very good. The figure seemed to take a great interest in Randy, questioning his desire to fight for a goddess he does not fully know and understand, and seemed to reveal that Adara has not told him the full story of the Convergence Wars. Ooh. Upon returning to the Ambercrest Manor, their pockets laden with many things, um, Branwen and Randy lay their pretty heads to rest, but unfortunately could not find soft sleep that night. Doug, however, you returned to the Ambercrest quite late last night, battered and worn from another day of tests subjected upon you by the Grand Magister Morgana of the Lexi Conclave. Unfortunately, you made very little progress. Your fits of magic are still causing you a great deal of pain, despite your access to a greater number of abilities that you've gained
Dang
under
it.
her tutelage. Yes. The only respite of the day, however, was seeing that the young lad Elias, who shares your condition, has at the very least not gotten worse. Your gifting of the Belt of Gormorin has provided him with the strength and will to, strength and constitution previously unavailable to him. Um, However, his caretaker Amara did warn you that many members of the conclave are suspicious that his condition has not worsened, and she has done her best to hide his possession of the belt from those that are in regularly to study him. Further still, the blind and unfortunately somewhat loony Tiberius Blackwood was of very little help to you during your time there. Unfortunately, I don't remember much of my time studying Gwen. A lot of things have. One more thing, I don't remember a lot of. Now hear this, Buster. I used to study Gwen, and unfortunately, I don't remember the things that his voice kind of just repeats in your mind, and you kind of rub your temples as you try to kind of clear your head from the day's events. Um, Unfortunately, many of the records that he kept on Gwen were since destroyed when he was taken from his office. If anyone knew anything about her or the ritual itself that could theoretically fully control your abilities, it would be her, or potentially anything she left behind. The struggles of the day weighing on you, you slip into a slumber and let it all drift away to a very pleasant dream. A return to the material plane where everything is, thank God, much less complicated. A feasting table set out before you, deep in the Wathem wood, Borgin at its head, smiling down upon you. Dunk, my boy! He hoists up a glass of a drink he calls a pretty rye for a chai guy. And he kind of raises up his glass and a toast to you. How long has it been since you knew my face and I knew yours? Your friend asked for my name and will lose herself in the answer. I am the one who beckons, and all that remains, nothing left to be said. As the last words start to kind of spill out of his mouth like molasses, as a slick black ooze rises and gurgles in his maw, pouring over the glass into the pretty rye for a chai guy, onto the table, creeping towards you slowly, inching until you awake in a huff. The sounds of pots and pans scraping as you can hear Randy preparing the morning scramble down below.
I'm gonna kind of shake it off a little bit, um, put on some rags and step out and meet the scramble.
Nice. Each of you in the kitchen downstairs find Dunk kind of ambling down the steps, greeting you after the day that you all spent apart. The rest of you kind of recovering, Branwen, Randy kind of blinking away the tiredness while the rest of you kind of start the day.
Howdy, Dunk.
My time was pretty boring. What would y'all do?
We went to Mega Hell.
We didn't
Yes.
go to
Oh,
Mega Hell.
We
Damn
went.
close.
We were close to Mega Hell, but not in it.
just like, just a little bit, just like the tip.
We found somebody. We found somebody that lives in Mega Hell for sure.
Oh, okay. Can they come in and out, or is it like
No,
they're
no,
trapped there?
Zarius is super duper trapped there. But like honestly, a pretty cool guy all
Cool
around.
guy.
Yeah.
Surprisingly helpful.
Yeah.
I think I messed up though.
Why?
Yes. Why?
I had a scary dream.
Uh,
Oh.
girl, same.
Oh, did you all have entity dreams?
Stop looking so smug.
I'm. I'm just. It was cool when I didn't go insane.
Was it like another one of those saw your face things?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. I think it's kind
Uh,
of cool that we're all having these dreams. It's like we're
I
connected.
don't. I
It's also not all of us.
Well,
Me and Cena. Cool. Cool.
yeah. Sorry, guys.
I mean, Cena's cool, but so sorry for causing you guys to have scary dreams.
I don't think it's your fault. I think we're all just kind of like.
No, it specifically said that it was my fault in this one.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. It did.
oh,
That's right. I forgot.
yeah. So I figured you were the one that our friend was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the cat's out of the bag. You want to just go ahead and just
I
tell
didn't
us what
even
happened?
learn anything.
I think
What
it's
did you do?
I just asked Azaleus if it knew what the thing was.
What did Azaleus, who, by the way, is a fallen god, say?
Oh, it's not gonna work.
Azaleus didn't say shit.
No,
Mm.
Zayla's definitely implied that they knew something.
They
But
implied that they knew something and then probably, oh, if you know this, you'll go crazy. Which turns out, if we don't know, we're still gonna go crazy either way.
I think we should keep asking people about it. I think we should keep finding gods and keep asking them about it.
There is going to be an eldritch entity that comes into this world through my skull, and I'm gonna be really
It won't
sad
be
about
through
it.
your skull. It'll be through all of our skulls, if anything.
I mean, at this rate, I feel like it's gonna be through my skull.
That's just like you, Branwen.
Yeah, Brent. I do gotta say though, not to like uh further uh
Oh
your
no,
tendency
pile on.
to be to be a little I don't know, self blamey. It probably will be your fault.
No, oh come
But
on. It'll be all
it's
of our
okay
fault.
though. Like we will figure it out.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's got those days.
Stop
But
smiling, Willem.
it's not like
I'm throwing egg
it's
at
not
you.
like any one of you chose this to happen to you. It just all we all had to follow someone down there. So there's a reason that we were down there to begin with if we want to be pointing fingers. Which
What
I'm
the
not
fuck?
saying that we have to. I'm just saying that we don't have to point fingers because all of us had a
We were gonna go
reason.
down there anyway.
I like how you
Exactly.
preface it by saying we don't have to point fingers, and then you just point a giant finger.
You're just like put all your hands toward him.
Well, I mean to say that it's not like we were gonna be down there. Dunk's right. Like it was going to happen. We can now only deal with the proverbial cards that we've been dealt, and we're not
Don't
gonna
remind Willem
we're
of
gonna
cards, please.
we're not gonna get anywhere without just we can only control what we can control is what I'm trying to say.
Stop it. Stop it. No, put this
I
back.
mean, if you really wanted to know what that thing is and what its deal was,
No.
I
No.
pulled a
Mm-mm.
card where I can get a truthful answer to any question and also get
Wait.
a way to solve a problem.
Yo, that's a
Wait.
great use of it though.
Oh, did I not tell you that?
You maybe did.
This sounds familiar. No, you definitely told me.
I think
Yeah.
you told like meta. Yes, we know, but I also just
Yeah,
completely forgot
I
about
think
that
you
until right
only
now.
told Dunk, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I can get a truthful answer to any question, and if it's a question about like how do we do a thing, I will get a vague idea in my mind, or maybe not vague, maybe very specific of how we can do that thing.
How long have you been running around with this?
How long's it been? Weeks?
A couple
Yeah.
weeks, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
This feels like a good use of that to ask about the otherworldly thing that nobody will tell us about.
But what if we learn what it is and it's too
What
scary,
if,
and then we go more
what
crazy?
what if it's too scary and you
What if it's
die?
too scary?
What if it's too scary and then it comes crawling out of Branwen's eye socket?
It
I
won't do
would
that.
like that to not happen.
That's not gonna happen.
I mean, we don't know. It could
That's
happen.
the truth. We don't really know. I feel like
I was sort of.
let's hang
Oh,
on
sorry,
to
Cena.
that. Let's just hang
Yeah,
on
yeah.
to that.
I was sort of saving it for a rainy day in case it's. And I think I told
In
Dunk
case you
like
get really bored.
in case something really bad happens, and if I don't find a good use for it, like before whenever, I'll just be like, hey, how can we fix Dunk or whatever.
Yeah, pretty good. Dunk, do
Look at
you
her
want
boy.
to be fixed still?
Um, as of right now, I'm just kind of curious to see where this goes with the Lexi Conclave's research.
Oh, by the way, when we were in Mega Hell, we found Gwen, or adjacent to Mega Hell, we found Gwen's labs, and we found a lot of books, including some like journals of hers and stuff.
Ooh.
And we shoved a giant glass case full of old antiques books into the bag of holding. So you should maybe read those at some point.
Oh, cool.
Also, we found
So much broken glass
18,000
in
gold.
there.
Yeah, you found an
Oh yeah,
absurd amount of gold.
we found like a lot of money.
18,000 gold.
Oh god. I feel like we go through like our financial graph, just like
Yeah.
We're not stable at all.
no.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, and we found these horseshoes that can make horses levitate.
They can break their legs easier now.
But like only a little bit off the ground.
Yeah, like 6 inches.
I feel like I
They're
wrote
like
that a
mag
long
rails.
time ago when, like, before you had griffins.
Oh my god, we can
Wait.
invent a frictionless horse.
Finally. I hope we can make a frictionless salami.
So, if you're thinking about things, Dunk, do you think the answer is in there? She kind of gestures to the bag of holding, but beyond the journals within it.
I don't know. And I don't know if I want them to be. But I don't know. I feel like maybe we can kind of I'll peruse that over the next couple of days while we figure out this whole black ooze know your face thing, because that's scary.
Okay.
Yep. At the very least, with the books, you can find out what the Lexi Conclave wanted to do to Gwen that she was not willing to subject herself to.
Right.
Or you can find out how to make a bunch of little mini dunks.
I really want to save that boy. Cause
Yeah,
like
man.
he's like just trapped in there, and we're gonna save Orb Girl and we're gonna save Tower Boy. Orb Lady? Do we know how old
Orb-
is she now?
Orb girl.
Orb
Girl.
Orb
Yeah.
person.
She's about the same age as Branwen, I guess.
I think well, not anymore, but
Yeah.
don't know how old I am anymore.
So like
So
7,000.
No, like over
no,
100.
like yeah, like 116 now,
Yeah.
probably.
I was just
Yeah.
making fun of you for being old.
Oh, and we talking skull.
Oh yeah, Pietro.
Yeah.
Be careful
Freebie.
around Pietro. First one's free, but the rest are
First one's
not.
free, but the rest ain't.
What?
Oh.
Once a day we can use this skull to identify anything we want, and then if we want to do it more, it'll take a year off our life. So
And y'all
That's
have all
fun.
used your free identify?
well,
I think so.
yesterday we did.
Well, we kind of just did a whole
per
bunch,
day.
and then he was like,
Per
"Okay,
day.
you guys are done."
And then he's
Okay.
like, wait a second, I didn't tell you that it was going to cost you your life. That's not really fair. So he has a strong sense of morality.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
a
Also,
I
chill
when
think
he
he does.
gets happy, fireworks come out of his head.
Oh.
That
Well,
part's
that
quite
was
fun.
only once.
He
That
could-
was like when he introduced himself to us.
He could have
Maybe-
also been vomiting, and we wouldn't know the difference.
That's true.
Gross.
Yeah. So that
All right,
was
gang.
our trip.
Here's what I think that we should do.
Oh, one thing. I think I heard somebody mention like talking in their sleep, and it said something about crystal mommy and salami. What was that about?
That's what
Yeah, we had to
say to
we had
talk
to
his
tell
wife.
that to the crystal so that Azaleas would come hang out with us.
Oh,
Pretty sure that's
do
not
you have to
true.
say that every time you talk to the crystal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind. I
Didn't
was saying the
say
skull. Yeah.
Oh, not the skull. Not. I mean, you could though. I don't think it hurt.
I'll try it next time. All right. Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah.
Chris is
He
seething.
hates it so much.
Yeah, okay. So what I think that we should do, gang, is we're good in Hylasera now, right?
Yes. Oh, Dunk, one more thing. Before we went to Mega Hell, we had a run-in with some lady on the street who was stalking us and thinks that we took her sister, and then we were like, we didn't take your sister. And then she had a bad attitude all around, but somebody has a bounty out on us, especially
Oh,
Dunk and Branwen.
Me
or
and
Randy
Branwen
and Brown.
Or sorry, Randy and Branwen, not Dunk and
Yeah.
Branwen.
Oh yeah.
for taking their daughter
No, it's
No, I
her
think just
twin
in
or
general.
sister.
sister.
Like a different
No, no, no.
thing.
The
And also
bounty's not for.
Yeah,
She's
sorry, go
just
ahead.
mad.
She's just mad at us. She was stalking us for a while, and then she got mad at us. She was hired to stalk us and turn us over alive, and then her sister went missing, and she thought we did it, but we didn't do it.
I think it was for like a
Oh.
public bounty, so anyone could be doing it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like that movie, The Raid.
Hmm.
It's not like
Haven't read that scroll.
Or that one stage play. I think it's John Wick 2.
I only saw
Or
the
it could
first.
be it could be the third one.
I only saw the first.
I
one.
mix them all up.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm thinking I'm back.
So I think that if we're done in Hylasera, I think maybe the next route of action, at least what I would like to do, is find one of them chronomancers so I can learn how to do time. But I think if we kind of head south, right, to the winter place, we could one find Valyrian or whoever champion whatever's going on down there. Uh, could be Valyrian, based on my guess.
Who the hell is Valyrian?
Yeah, they were friends with Serapho for a while.
Cool.
Just seems like a useful person to talk to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that other champion, and then also, I mean, if we're in Winter Court, then we can go steal that one stealing mission so that we can get into Jack and Boss's place.
Right.
And on the way there's the Ebonlake, so we can. I guess
We
I
can
have a house there.
Do you?
I think so. There's like I don't know. I feel like I should go there.
And on
I
the way
mean,
there is the place that they were supposed to meet for our bounties, which I think could be
Oh
fun
yeah,
to check out.
yes, that was
extremely dangerous, but also
Keeps
fun.
Landing or something like that at the Rye Smile.
Hapsfield's Landing. And
Mm.
yes, the
Heatsfield,
Rye Smile.
Hapsfield. Same thing.
At least it's not the McCoy's Landing.
Nobody gets what you're saying. Sweetie.
It's close. It's close. Thank you.
I've seen that one.
Was it Squirrel Hunt Sammy?
So we're
Something like that.
so we're leaving.
I'm
Yeah.
good whenever
Yeah,
you guys
I
are.
guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
You want to go on a date?
Well, yes, but
Oh.
also we can I have something that I want to talk about, but we can sort in it later when
Okay.
we're on the way.
Well, you have to head towards the Griffin stand anyway. Quarters, stables. There we go. That was the word I wanted to find.
Roost?
So you can. It's stables. So you can
Oh.
talk amongst yourselves as you head in that general direction. Luckily, one of you was smart enough to request during the kind of week between defeating Gwen and now to kind of start training with and spending some time alongside the Griffins. And you were provisioned 3 griffins, where 2 of you can sit aback each one. And Randy, your wings have sprouted to full size that you are capable of flying yourself.
I just got to get kind of naked for it, right?
You just can't wear medium armor. You can wear regular clothes.
You might as well be.
So you can wear light armor, or you can wear clothing. You just can't wear medium or
Or you could
heavy
wear
armor.
nothing.
Yeah.
Your choice,
and it's
man.
feeling the wind in my on my chest,
Your loins.
on my loin.
You
Yeah,
gotta feel
okay,
the
I'll wear
breeze
clothes.
between
All
your
right.
knees.
Okay. What would you like to talk about, Willem, as you head towards the Griffin stables?
Oh, this might be kind of a long conversation, but Randy, what happens if Adara gets really pissed off at you and takes away your powers?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know if she can do that. I mean, she
Oh,
probably can, but like, why would she?
because you're not doing what she wants, and
No, for sure.
she's mad at you lately.
All right, here's my logic, right? Is that I'm not doing what she wants. I'm doing it not like this, but like this. I'm still getting to the same end goal, right?
Aha.
So she is maybe a little bit mad about that, which is fair. Um, but she doesn't also have too much of an option here. She keeps talking like she's gonna find another person. I don't think she can because it took her a long time to find anybody, and that was me.
Why
So
can't
like,
she just find someone else? Isn't she like a god?
yeah, so it kind of seems to me like all the gods are like, yes, all powerful or whatever, but also like all extremely impotent. Like I don't think any of them can really do anything without like, people to do what they want
Is
for
that
them.
the kind of thing that you want to be saying out loud?
I don't
I
care.
mean, she did help us against Gwen pretty handily.
Yeah,
She
like
also suffocated me for like 5 minutes.
for here's the thing, right? Like love you, babe, but like it doesn't like I, I'm here to do what I'm gonna do, and it's also the goals of Adara, but in a different in a little swirly way.
Sure. It's
So
just like,
can't you take away van powers? Could be. Who can say?
okay. I was just like a little bit worried about your relationship and what bearing that might have on, like the quest. Um,
I think the
Trademark.
answer is none at all.
Yeah, I think it's really fine.
okay. Oh, and to be frank, I think she's horrible.
I wouldn't say horrible. She's got some redeeming qualities for sure. Like I like what her people stand for,
Yeah,
and what she seems to stand for. Like that's all really great.
but she's
Um,
also really manipulative and choked Branwen, so
Again, there are
I'm
negatives to
not
her.
choked.
Suffocated.
suffocated. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like
Feel
I'm
like
not
there's a very
defending her.
distinct difference.
Sure.
Yeah, but I think it'd be cool if we like talk to more gods and like just see what maybe their relationships were with everybody, and see if we can get some more a little bit of a rounder picture on the whole situation.
Have you ever tried to, I guess, besides Azaleus, talk to another god?
I've got
Just
two,
kind of
two in the
what?
books. I've talked to Adara and I've talked to Azaleas, and that's it.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Oh, I was just wondering if you said like a quick little prayer to anybody else, like what would happen? Maybe
I say
nothing.
it up for
No,
you.
I don't really want to like pray to anybody else. I don't really like know anybody else like that.
Sure.
Do you pray?
No, very rarely. I talk to Adara sometimes though.
Smoke.
Okay.
I think smoking is his sacrament.
Mm.
That's a good one. Yeah, I'll
It's
start
it's
using
been
that. That's good.
frankincense and myrrh this whole time.
He's
No,
like
it's weed.
a
It's weed.
he's
Murder.
like a Rastafarian.
I'm pretty high right now.
We can tell.
You're about to be higher.
Guess what? Everybody can tell.
That's
Everybody knows,
Is
and they're looking at you.
About to be higher.
It's a flying joke.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for asking though, Willem. That's good. It's good to think about those things. About eventualities and what could happen.
Yeah, I just like I had a mental image of us being on the Griffins and you flying alongside us, and then Azara like zaps you and takes away your wings, and then you fall down, and we can't get down down to the ground in a minute, so none of us can revivify you, and it's a bad situation.
Um, yeah, that would be pretty bad.
Thanks for giving me new anxiety.
But it sounds like it's not going to happen. So I think
No, I'm pretty sure it won't.
I hope it doesn't.
Although, sorry, Dunk, you weren't there for yeah. So I'm not immortal anymore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
bummer. It's fun while it lasted.
yeah, no, for sure, for
Willem
sure.
is just gonna sort of look around like he's about to say something, and then just bring it back.
As you look around, Cena goes,
Branwen looks sheepish.
um, all of you are able to make it to the Griffin stables in a relatively short order. And you are greeted by Mort Short, the tender of the Griffins. See, I didn't need to get under eh, then. Well, we've been treating the three that you'll be making your journey with quite well. But unfortunately, one of them fell ill. So it'll just be the two of yous. So two on each back. And then imagine you'll be fine on your own there, Mr. Randy, is it?
Yeah, yeah, it'll be
Terrific,
good.
terrific, terrific. Just I would encourage you to be very kind to the beasts. They can be quite temperamental, and many of our Dawnguard who ride the griffins bond with them at birth. These are unfortunately griffins who have lost their prior masters, um,
You take
and
this.
would appreciate you being kind to these beasts. Uh, you've done well with them the past week or so, but as I said, they tend to train with people for their lives. So I'm pulling for you. You've got to feed him twice a day. I've filled the saddlebags with enough food for a 2 weeks journey. But pretty much any kind of meat will do. Should you tend to go beyond this particular well calendar date.
What are their names?
That's a very good question. This one here, and he kind of pats one on the head that has more of like an amber colored, like light golden brown. This one here's name is Amber. So we call her that for her fur. Uh, she's got quite the mane
She's a
here.
griffin, doesn't she have feathers and not fur?
Yes, but they do also have fur underneath the feathers.
Oh.
They kind of like how it's like they have fur and feathers. They have both. Um, it's rude to interrupt Mort when they're thinking. And this one over here, who's a bit darker in color, we call her Maple. So you got Maple and Amber, uh, and you treat them well. Uh, and at that point, another voice rings out before you have the opportunity to ask your question, Dunk. Indeed, I trust you all will know what you are doing. Sorry, I have to get into the. Trust you all will know what you are doing.
Yeah,
As
buongiorno.
Amar rounds the corner. The winter court is unwelcoming on its finest day, but I understand that you all have prerogatives that you must attend to.
See.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to a god. Hopefully, we'll see what happens there. But appreciate the send off, Amara. You've been nothing but helpful this entire time. Um, and I
I do not think
really
I've earned
enjoyed
that
meeting you.
reward, but you all have done me a great service, and now I look to return the favor. I will see to it that the house, my house, is in order here. And when you return, we will see to the wizard in the high tower and my daughter.
Yes.
Well, at the very least, and I take his hand and I kind of like grab his shoulder. I say, "It's very nice to have a conversation with you, Amar."
He returns the favor and places his hand upon yours. Feeling is very mutual. I wish I could say it was all of you that brought me out of my stupor, but for once it was glad to speak to someone who saw the world the same way I did and told me what a fool I was being. Well,
Damn.
I will not hold you up any longer. You had a question, sir. And he kind of turns towards you, Dunk.
Oh, yeah, it was for Mort actually.
Yes.
So you said that we have to feed him every 2 calendar days because we're about to
Twice.
get into some
No,
like weird time travel things. So like the concept of
Hmm.
days
No,
might
that's a
be a
good question.
no,
little
no.
It's a creature.
It's
We'll feed them.
2 times a day. Don't worry, they'll certainly let you know when they're hungry. And not really quite sure what you mean by time travel. And
Are there
Amar kind
food
of
for that?
waves a hand. Goes, don't. They know what they are doing. And the griffins start to kind of stamp impatiently as they've kind of led you up to an alabaster platform at the top of the griffin stables, the highest platform to give you, as Mort described it, ample drop space, um, as you kind of have a bird's eye view of Hylasera, kind of the afternoon sun kind of spilling out over the city like gold across its many trellises and towers and domes.
Hmm.
Yeah, you all ready to go?
So, Willem, you want front or back?
I don't know what the correct answer is here.
Dunk, if you would like to read the journals while you are traveling, it would be better for you to be in the back.
Good point.
Sure. Okay, I guess I'm front then.
All right.
Alrighty.
I will take fronts so that I can try to kind of lead us in the right direction.
Do you have amber or maple?
I want maple.
Okay.
Okay, good. I wanted Amber.
Am by the way, Amber's new name is Cheesers.
No!
You can't rename a griffin like that.
I just
They
did.
do respond quite clearly to their names they're given at birth. I would encourage you not to call it anything other than the name that we've been given it. Them.
All
Willem,
right.
what if
I'll
I just
compromise.
never mind.
Amber Cheesers.
No.
As long as you really enunciate between amber and cheesers, was it?
Don't say
Yeah.
it. Don't say it.
As long as you
So-
enunciate between those things, I think you'll be all right.
If you say his name 3 times,
No!
you'll have human hands when you look in the mirror
No!
next time.
What? I had lantern hands before.
Oh, all right. Oh, missed that guy. Anyway,
Uh, your
He was a real one.
griffins have kind of flexed their wings a little bit, kind of soaking in the breeze that kind of sifts up to the top. Randy, you kind of spread out and kind of shift your shoulders back and forth and feel the warm air kind of lifting and tickling the tips of your feathers. Amar looks at you all once more. He goes, y'all are true heroes. And when you return, my daughter, she will not be alone much longer. And for that, I am ever grateful.
good follow up.
Thank you.
You
There
were,
are
you were
there are a few
I
Dawn
recommend
Guard
Italian.
who are present at the current moment, guarding Amar, and they bow in a silent farewell as the griffin's talons kind of scrape against the stone, and then with a sharp from Mort, you kind of feel their back legs kick off, and you're leapt into the air as the mounts spring forward, their powerful wings. Randy, you're kind of left there in a gust as the griffins beat their wings alongside of you, and all of a sudden, one powerful beat, they ascend into the air before diving headfirst down, looking to catch something. The spires of Hylasera blurring beneath you as they plunge deeper and deeper, the ground seeming to get closer and closer until finally they catch the wind in their wings and they soar upward to a graceful arc, pulling you toward the endless blue above. And as you rise higher, the Emberholm Palace and Hylasera and the Soul Colosseum and the thoroughfare below, the many towers and trellises begin to grow smaller and smaller until they glimmer like scattered stars. The warm wind kind of tugs at your cloak, tousles your hair back, carries the scent of the wildflowers from down below. In that moment, you feel weightless, optimistic, suspended between the city you are leaving and the unknown to come. How are you all spending your travels?
Flying.
Yeah, I'm focused. Feel like
I like to
navigating.
think that while Randy's flying, the rest of his body that isn't his wings is just completely boneless.
He's just drooping.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
When you hold a
Like
dog and their
like
arms just stick out.
I don't know, just a completely limp body except for the
Like there's a
wings.
string between his shoulder
Christine,
blades, and
come
he's
here.
just
I need
being
to
pulled
demonstrate.
along forward.
Just being like, "Brr."
Randy, it definitely takes some getting used to. Like for a great deal of the time, like you beat your
Oh.
wings over and over, and yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Randy's just kind of flying like this, and you're trying to like acclimate yourself, and like every once in a while, you get that kind of like pins and needles rush in your thighs as you kind of like drop just a little bit. But after some time, you're able to kind of catch the air current, and you don't have to flap your wings so meticulously, and inevitably you're able to kind of fall in lockstep with echo.
Dunk, horrible
Um,
echo.
the fall in
I think they
lockstep,
unplugged something.
yeah, with your companions that ride upon the griffins. Branwen, you can clearly tell that despite Cena's typical nerves of steel, she's kind of white knuckling into your stomach, like wrapped around like this, and like clutching you as tight as she possibly can, and has not spoken for the first about like hour and a half of the flight. And Dunk, like, reading is not an easy feat at this altitude. You're kind of like
Pages
the
are just going
pages are just like
crazy.
flying, but inevitably you're able to kind of like clasp your hands there, and like you get through a little bit at a time, but certainly not at your typical pace.
I'm gonna poke Cena. You good?
Let's not talk about it too much right now, okay?
Okay.
Okay. After about like 6 or so hours, assuming you all aren't doing anything else like stopping or making any breaks, um, you can definitely tell that you're moving significantly faster than overland travel. But at this point, like flying is still fatiguing for Randy. So all of you kind of look down and start to see that Randy is starting to kind of drop a bit in altitude in comparison to the Griffin. So you match pace, and luckily, as you begin to descend, you can kind of start to see that the forest begins to thin, and the trees start to kind of get lower and lower, less dense, less thick. Um, and off in the distance, you can see almost like a black slate of glass that seems to spread out across the landscape. Looking to your left, like obviously behind you, Hylasera, and you've passed over some of the other cities of the Summer Court, Othasos, and like just continue to sail on. To your left, the entire journey, you can kind of see the distant Shimmer Peak Mountains floating over the black abyss, and finally, you can see Branwen, what you would understand to be the Ebonlake, which in all actuality looks very much like an inland sea, given its scale and grandeur. Like you estimate that it would probably take a solid couple days to hike its circumference. Um, yeah, circumference. Um, and inevitably, I assume you intend to land there.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, as you kind of gesture down to Randy Randy, you for the first time, despite your pretty typical laid back, constantly state of varying degrees of inebriation, you are grateful for the rest. Like this is one where you were kind of like beads of sweat starting to accumulate, like you are actually feeling a sensation of tiredness. Um, and as you begin to kind of get closer and closer to the ground, the forest thinning, You can see that the trees start to kind of bow out as though reluctant to grow closer to the shoreline. And inevitably, your feet hit the ground, and the griffins kind of pad their paws, their talons into soft, loamy, kind of a mix of loamy and sandy soil. Um, in contrast to the summer court, the air is much cooler here, heavy with moisture, has like that kind of metallic-y smell of wet stone. Um, and you kind of dismount the griffins who pant after a pretty extensive half day, like a bit longer than half day's journey. Uh, and the lake now kind of lays before you, vast stretch of water, very dark. It seems almost bottomless, starting to kind of swallow what is now true sunset. You've left the summer court proper behind and kind of feel as though you kind of re-entered the wild, where despite its irregularities, traditional time seems to take hold. Um, the lake kind of sits before you, kind of shimmers like polished obsidian. So
Can I just go and
you're in charge of this now.
I guess this is my lake. Everyone.
Make an
I'm just
insight
gonna like
check, Brandon.
okay. 9.
It does not take much for you, given how well you know Cena, to see that she's not really listening to you. Like you can tell that she's kind of like disconnected, dismounted, and like feeling out the ground. She does not like flying. It has not been a pleasant experience for her.
Really?
But and she kind of just like absentmindedly, you're like that, right? But yeah, it like it's out before you. Um, as each of you is kind of like looking out into the lake and what all of you can see, every once in a while, one of you catches like a quick glimmer beneath the surface, uh, but they vanish as quickly as they appear. And then you just kind of look up from the surface and see the distant shimmer peaks once more. Uh, there is a thin mist that clings to the surface of the lake, kind of swirls around lazily. Um, you can make perception checks as you kind of approach the waterline.
Oh, I did better.
I'm hanging out with Cena. I'm laying down. I rolled a 2.
16.
Yeah, Randy, you're just kind of like,
Disgusting 20.
Yeah.
I got a 21.
all of you that aren't Randy or Cena, who's also just kind of like laying beside Randy, um, can see that there are like a lot of very peculiar wildflowers that seem to bloom along the lake's shoreline. Small clusters of the pale blue and gold blossoms. Very faint and like sweet, almost citrusy smell, which is very nice. That seems to blend with the more like earthy scent of the loamy soil. You can even kind of hear the low croak of a frog, ribbit, echoing across the lake. Um, but as quickly as they sound, the silence kind of overtakes them. Like they'll ribbit. There's no echo. There's no trail. Very reserved here. Um, Branwen and Willem, you note a faint ripple across the water. There is no wind to stir it. The soft rustle of reeds on the shoreline kind of twitch. Uh, and Willem, you hear like you don't hear wind, you don't hear like you hear like something on the wind, like a mumble or a conversation, but you can't discern any of the words. But Branwen, you hear more clearly. If it's not meant to be, then may she always remember me for what I was, and not what I failed to be.
Can I go walk toward it?
You're gonna walk towards the water.
Yeah.
You. Did somebody want to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Willem to Branwen, what are you doing?
Heard something.
I also heard something non-specific.
As
Mumbles on the wind.
Branwen, as you approach the water, you see it ripple again. But this time you see a reflection of a man, as though they stood about 20 yards out in the lake. They're kind of upside down in the water. You don't see anyone standing there, you only see their reflection in the water. They're kind of mud caked robes that now kind of like are soaking around their shins and their ankles. And he clutches a leather bound journal close to his chest with very old, wrinkled hands.
I just go approach, I guess.
You're going to step into the water.
Yeah.
Hey, are you sure you want to do that?
We going for a little swim?
I'm laying down.
Branwen, as you step into the water, a surge of memories pass through you, though not your own. You see the vision of a Selkie woman, which, if you're unfamiliar, is half seal, half woman. Kind of like a mermaid. She ventured in from the sea, and you can see her. She's beautiful, and you can see her through the eyes of a fisherman. You can see the kind of grizzled, calloused hands working the thick ropes, pulling in a line. They look out to the ocean, and they can see on a rock the perched figure of the Selkie woman. You can see he's been struggling, days and weeks of bad catch. But upon seeing this woman, the days and weeks of bad catch turn to months and years spent with her. She abandons her tail, inherits a life on land before she leaves. Because she was called to leave. She had to leave. And you're looking through this man's eyes when you strain to focus for a moment because all of a sudden many more memories seem to flash before your eyes. And you're struggling to kind of put them all together. There's like a pair of fairy wings, battered, torn. A wisp of platinum blonde hair, and a young, familiar face marred in tears. The angry pounding of a fist in the sand. Hundreds of faces begging, pleading. Others more serene and expectant. A single black feather landing upon the obsidian surface. And finally, the shimmering form of a dozen women, light and almost translucent, standing in a line before you. The closest seems almost smug, familiar in a way. You feel like you know her. And then each begins to fall off into the water like a swan, kind of like falling, crashing slowly. Until you feel that you're doing the same. And each of you on the land can see your companion Branwen start to just 45-degree angle, 90-degree angle collapse into the water. Branwen, you brace for the water you know is going to hit you. But it never arrives. And for the rest of you, where Branwen no longer stands in the water before you, Branwen, you stand and kind of blink, and the color of the world has faded. There are no more giant mushrooms. It's a very plain sky. No more floating mountains. Only the distant, familiar mountains that you descended months ago when you first ventured down into Conway's Ferry. You are on the material plane. And suddenly you can see the man standing before you as their eyes widen because they can see you. You, you exist.
What? What?
I've come every day, but not once have I heard the answer. Please, I'd like to go there. And he kind of bows his head. I want to seek her out. I understand she needed to return home, but please, you have to let me through. I was told that coming here would I could be judged. Please.
Um, what's your name?
My name is Gregory. I know the world.
And
I know you're sorry, please.
no, speak.
I know your world is not meant for me. And that this place was not meant for her. But I would he's make an insight check.
That is a 15.
You can see that he's getting very nervous. He's starting to you can see like the sweat kind of beating around and the water around his shins is starting to ripple and shake more as he shudders at the sight of you. I, you can see in me that I mean you know, your world no harm, no harm. Uh, there is there's a beauty there that I'd like to see again before my time is up. I've got no more business in this world. Not really. And if I could see to her one more time, even for just a moment, it would mean it would be worth a lifetime here.
What's her name?
Her name is Amelia.
If you could tell her anything right now, what would you tell her? In 25 words or less.
I tell her that I love her. And exactly as I said before, she remembered me for the man I was, not what I failed to be.
I will cast sending.
Okay.
To the silky woman that I saw in the dreams and whose name I now know.
Okay.
Girl, um Gregory loves you. If he could come to you, would you take him?
You hear almost immediately a frantic voice in your mind. It's not a scared frantic. It's it hinges on anxiety of like insecurity and a lack of assurance. What? Gregory? My Gregory? Of course! Of course! I would trade a lifetime to be with him.
Um Okay. I'll just hold out my hand to him, I guess.
As you extend your hand, and he kind of frantically moves to grasp it, you can hear the water sloshing, and it starts to kind of drone out as a dozen voices ring in your mind. They all speak at the same time. You have seen this place, and you now carry the burden of its visitors. What is denied today may return tomorrow. They have patience, and you must too. Be warned, Lady Branwen. The living are not the only ones that seek passage across the lake. Some must return to rest. Others may rise again. This is your burden now. Go ahead and make an insight check for me.
14.
The final voice seems to kind of like trail off slowly. Like she's still saying, "This is your burden now." And you can catch a hint of just a small, subtle giggle. And as the old man's hand touches yours, you can see, you feel the touch, but all you see is his hand pass through yours. For the first time, you see yourself, your own hand, kind of this like spectral, ethereal glow um, as his hand passes through yours. And all of a sudden, you kind of again flash on an angle towards the side, and though only for a moment on your end, Branwen, Randy, Dunk, Cena, Willem, you see in almost kind of a 360 motion Branwen surface once more. And Randy, you are kind of laying there, deep breathing, catching your breath, and as you kind of like roll to look left and right, Cena is on your right, and to your left, an elderly gentleman clutching a leather bound book to his chest rests quietly, deep breathing, but does not stir. And Brandon, you kind of turn over your shoulder and see your companions there, and see Randy laying next to the man you just extended an open arm to.
Hello.
He continues to sleep.
What the fuck just happened?
I turn over to C and I go, "Shh, I think he's sleeping."
Cena has scrambled up, like hand on knife at her belt. Just is
I
about.
continue laying down.
Is this a thing? No, no.
I think I just teleported that guy.
Where did you go?
Material plane, I think.
Hmm,
Where?
Lake.
specific.
Brandon, make an insight
This
check.
one. 19.
I'm gonna send you a DM.
Ah!
What?
What? It's spooky.
1 second.
She's gonna say you die.
You
I'm
dropped
gonna
it.
need you to make 3 death saving throws
Make
and
3
fail
death
all.
saving throws with disadvantage, but 1 with advantage just to keep it silly. Uh-oh. um yeah, when I see Cena, I'm just gonna also feel a similar way. for a second. Yeah. No, this is Gregory.
Greg.
Um.
The gentleman just continues to sleep. He does not acknowledge any of your existences.
Who or what and why is Gregory here?
He asked me to bring him here so he can talk to his seal wife, and I messaged the seal wife, and she's like, "Oh my god, yes." And I just gave him my hand, and now we're here.
Seal wife?
Yeah, she's a Selkie. Her name's Aneria.
Amelia.
Amelia? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willem's just gonna sort of put his hands back and be like, this is fucked up. And he's gonna back away from the edge of the lake and sit down.
Near Randy or away from Randy?
Near Gregory or
Randy.
away from Gregory?
Near
I
Randy, and I'm side-eyeing Gregory.
I turn over to Willem and I go, he's sleeping. Shh.
I'm gonna go over and poke him.
Whoa.
He does not awake.
Sleeping.
Is he alive?
I think I
Very clearly alive.
broke this man. I think I just broke this man.
No,
Was
he's just kind of asleep.
he asleep when you saw
No, he
him?
was
in
awake.
the-
Oh, that's concerning. then.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna shake him.
Has no effect.
Oh yeah, I think he's cursed to magically sleep forever
No.
until his seal
Uh-huh.
wife kisses him or something. Remember how Dunk was asleep and magically and was that way until one of us kissed him?
Okay, Don, can you kiss this man?
Maybe it's like a chain thing. I'm gonna go kiss him.
Oh, give him a little smooch.
Nothing happens.
Maybe it's because you're not his true love.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna point at him. I'm gonna cast detect magic.
There is certainly some kind of magic, but you can make an insight check as you cast your magic.
Okie dokie. I got a 24.
You can tell that no harm is currently befalling him. He is in a magically induced slumber.
Ah, this motherfucker's in a magically induced slumber.
Yeah, how do I don't know what I did.
You probably did nothing wrong. It's, going from plane to plane can be kind of taxing sometimes. So he's probably just taking a little nap to recoup his strength after being kind of pushed through the barrier of the two planes.
Okay,
Maybe.
okay,
I just
okay.
made that up, but
I'm gonna cast sending again. To Amelia.
Okay.
Definitely didn't hear that. And I'm just gonna get composed. Hey, go ahead. He slumbers at the Ebonlake, and I sound cool and mystical.
Make a performance check. Given at disadvantage, given your current state.
Oh God. Performance?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 13.
13.
I'm a bard, baby.
Okay. The frantic voice returns, but
Bitch.
excitedly. He listened. He remembered. He'll know where to find me.
Said he slumbers. I said that.
I can wake him up. I just feel like you might need the rest.
Branwen, go ahead and make a history check.
Shit. Okay. That's a 22.
Oh, damn! You might remember from reading your childhood stories that people drawn by the Lady of the Lake cannot look upon the Lady of the Lake.
Oh, I just gotta fuck off. I'm just gonna go on. I'll be back. I'll just walk away.
Kadoki.
He does not wake up.
I yell, "Do you want me to wake him up? Do you want me to leave him?"
Yes? Did I just kill this old man? I'm just gonna keep walking.
Okay, all right.
I guess we'll wake him up. He can always
yeah.
go back to sleep.
True. That's true. Yeah. Press the old snooze button on Randy, and I clap my hands and I rub them together, and I go, "Wake up!" and I cast dispel magic on him.
Okay. As you cast your spell, oh, it didn't work. You're not a fae.
No. But you're in the Fey realm, so
As you
congrats
kind
on
of like
that.
back up to enable him like full view, the sun has now kind of started to set. And he kind of looks around and sees like the many peculiar tree, the floating. He kind of rubs his hand. He sees the floating mountains beyond. It worked. My name is Gregory. I am from
Is
the
he
material
awake?
plane.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, me
We,
too. That's crazy.
we all are.
Most of us, actually all of us right now, yes.
Did you all come from the lake as well?
No.
No.
No, we came from through a portal.
You must be of tremendous ability to be able to do such a thing.
Yes.
Tell me,
That's correct.
if you're from here or living here, can you point me in the direction of the nearest coastline?
I pointed the lake.
Sorry, I mean like ocean.
Oh, I
Uh,
think
Is
that's
he
probably like
here?
500 miles that way.
like to the north.
East?
Wait, you're from the material
West.
plane. I'm from the city of Mercia. I met a Fey once outside of Mercia.
What was their name?
Amelia. Is
Cool.
there a city on the coast like Mercia?
Uh,
Uh, um.
We're not really from
Wait, wasn't
here.
wasn't the one in the Autumn Court? I forget what the city was called.
Old Hallow.
Old, yeah,
It
that was
was
on the
near
coast.
the coast.
Yeah,
I
Uh,
it's a
wouldn't
cool
go to
place.
Old Hallow.
it doesn't matter.
I mean, it's
I
cooler
know
now.
if I was brought here, I'll be guided to where I'm meant to be.
hold on. And I yell, Branwen, you should come back.
Is he good? I head back over there.
Well, who are you talking to?
Oh, the chick who brought you here.
Lady of the Lake. You know the Lady of the Lake?
Yeah, Branwen's our pal.
Yeah.
I guess she's quite literally the lady of the Ebonlake, huh?
As Branwen approaches, you all kind of turn to look at her, and so he like kind of joins you in looking at direction. Where is she?
Do we
She's
see
just
her?
right there.
What? I I don't see anything.
Bramwin, I think you broke his eyes.
I see all of you. Who's
Can he hear me?
the Lady of the Lake? Her name is, and he says a completely different name than what you said.
Samantha.
Yeah, sure. Lady the lake's name is Samantha?
That's not what we said.
What did you say?
We said, and I'm going to write Branwen on the ground.
That's what I said, Samantha.
Can you read?
Yes, I can read. I'm a
I didn't
fisherman.
write
I did get an
Samantha.
education.
Oh, Branwen, you really fucked up this guy's brain.
Who's Branwen?
He thinks your name is Samantha.
The lady the lake's
What?
name is Samantha?
Tell him that Amelia said that he would know where to go.
Yeah, he asked us for the directions to the nearest coastline, which I think is Old Hallow, or it could be on the beach by where Amar was, but
Also
I'm not
wrong.
totally sure.
Yeah.
I,
Branwen, you
it's
point
west, is
in
it
the
not?
general direction of west towards a spring court city that you are aware of.
Ah,
Are you sure this whole thing with his Selkie girlfriend is like
She's not my
cool?
girlfriend. She's the woman of my dreams.
Greg, I'm gonna need you to. I'm talking to Lady of the Lake right now. I'm
Talked
sorry.
to her. I talked to her.
He sets off.
And it
He
seems
just
pretty
starts
requited.
walking west. He does not wait for you all.
She's not gonna like eat him or something, right?
No, I don't think so.
Godspeed, Gregory.
Thank you.
Oh god, he's so gonna die. He's gonna absolutely die.
Why can he not see or hear you or your name?
I guess like back in the storybooks and stuff, there's like a legend where people that the Lady of the Lake transports, I don't know, can't see her.
But he saw you on the other side, didn't he?
I think
Because
I was
you
kind of a
talked
ghost.
to him.
I was there, but I wasn't really super there. Like I could see through myself.
Listen, I know this might be like a little bit insulting given your new status and everything, but fuck this lake.
Branwen looks normal to us, right? Like
Yeah.
nothing looks off at
She
all.
looks
Okay.
completely normal.
I'm pacing like crazy.
As you pace, you're kind of like looking down at the earth and the soil, and for a moment, you see the lake again through someone else's eyes. And as you kind of look up, you look over, and you see Cena staring into its waters.
I don't think she should do that.
Dina?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. How'd it go with Gregory? Gregory?
I'm pretty sure I killed that old man.
I'm
it'll be
sure.
alright.
I'm sure it's fine.
He's fucking toast.
In her head, I'm just gonna ask her what's going on.
Later. Later.
What are you saying? I
Wait.
straight up can't hear
She
you.
kind of whispers later. Talk about it later.
Okay.
Are we trying to put a few more miles under our belt, or are we?
Yes, we should leave.
I am
Very quickly.
extremely tired. I would not mind staying the night since, it's dark.
Oh,
And Branwen owns it, so
Didn't Greg wake up in the morning time, or am I missing something?
No, it's very close to late at night,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
very
okay.
close to
I'll
sunset. rather.
keep watch.
Somebody should stay up with you. Somebody should stay up with everybody and stay away from the fucking lake.
I'll
Well,
stay
why
up.
are you always so afraid of things that are super interesting?
Because a lot of the time when you mess around with things that are super interesting, bad shit happens, like the faceless entity from beyond who's haunting your dreams.
We don't know that's a bad thing yet.
It was a pile of corpses
Well, yeah,
that attacked us and chased us, and it's now haunting your dreams.
we don't know that's the same thing.
I
It
think we
was a
do.
bad thing, and now it's in another dimension. That
Honestly, Willem, I'm a little insulted that you're comparing me to, the faceless horror that keeps haunting our dreams.
I
That's
am not
also
comparing you to that. I'm just saying sometimes when we go sticking our fingers places they don't belong and we don't understand, bad things can happen.
See, this
Like
isn't.
transporting a man from the material plane who has no protection and no idea where he is to make a journey of dozens, if not hundreds of miles to find a seal woman who might eat him.
See, the thing is, Willem, though, this isn't places we don't belong.
So you'd be fine just bringing more people here and doing God knows what. I know you're the lady of the Ebonlake or something, but we don't understand it, and I think we should stay away from it and get away.
No, that's the opposite. If we don't understand something, you stay and then you find out more. So then
Or
you do
you ask somebody who knows before you mess around.
Branwen, what would happen if I went to that lake?
I have no idea.
And
There's
wouldn't it be cool
something
to find
in
out?
there. You saw the ripples last night too.
It's the same day.
Earlier.
I didn't see any ripples.
I don't know what ripples you're talking about.
Branwen saw them.
Branwen, make an insight check.
That is a 10.
It's easy enough to understand that those ripples originated from the individual you saw, correct? Great.
Yeah. Because he was on the other side.
Do whatever you want. We have several jobs to do. This risks our jobs. I don't think we should go near it.
I
Regardless,
don't know how to explain to you that this is kind of part of me now.
Okay, well, you should figure that out in a way that it doesn't possibly jeopardize people's lives.
she just found out about this, dude.
Yeah, which is why she should talk to somebody who might know a little bit more, like the Earl King or her, the Earl King who named her Lady of the Ebonlake.
That's not how things like this work.
How does it work?
I mean, you have sending. We can just ask the Earl King right now. What's the deal with Ebonlake?
Point.
And then go from there.
So he's going to explain it to me in what, 25 words?
I don't know. I just think we should not mess around with things like this that we don't understand when we have other jobs to do. I understand this is a part of you. I understand this might be something you have to do. I'm just saying now might not be the ideal time.
I turn towards Branwen and I look at her for a little bit. What is she, what do your face look like, Branwen?
I think Branwen looks like she's about to cry.
Uh, Randy looks back at Willem and walks into the lake.
It's rather chilly and cold. The water kind of sloshes along your shins. Um, your boots kind of slip on the wet rock below.
I
Feels drawing.
Wrong.
Drawing
Oh,
kind of draws you. messaging you something.
Water's fine.
He's oh no.
Chris is messaging you something. Are you sure the water's fine?
Has he turned into soup?
Um,
Uh-oh.
Nothing.
I just
Nothing happens. Yeah.
I'm like waist deep. I
Yeah.
just go. Water's fine.
Great. Now you're wet. Do you feel accomplished?
I feel like there's nothing to be afraid of.
I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna cup a little in my hand.
You fucking people.
It's dug something. Actually, no. Cupping in your hand, nothing happens. It's slip water that slips through your fingers.
Randy, are you sure that nothing creepy is happening to you, or
I fully immerse
no?
myself in the water.
I'm just gonna run up to the edge of the water, but not touch him at all.
As you approach the water, you just see your friend kind of floating on his back.
Maybe it's just a Branwen thing, and it's just like regular water for us. That's black and ominous.
Well, regular water, except for the fact that it transports people between dimensions and makes them unable to see or hear Branwen.
Yeah,
Randy,
it's
can you
special for
still hear
Branwen,
me?
but
Please
it's
tell
like
me you can
regular
still
water
hear
for us.
me.
Hey,
I
Randy, can you
trudge
still see
out.
Branwen?
Yes.
Yeah. I trudge out of the water and kind of like fall asleep. I go into the ground. I just attempt to try to fall asleep in my wet clothes.
Okay, Randy, at least change.
No.
What? Why? What? Well, you can just.
I'll stay up with Branwen.
No worries. Um, as the rest of you kind of start to make camp, Dunk, you can kind of continue to ponder upon the books that you were attempting to read as you soared through the air. And in reading the first couple chapters of the journals, the one thing that Willem did not share with you is the number of notations that seem to be throughout the book. So, like, they are clearly her well documented memoirs of her early years. Um, the early books seem to be quite chaotic, like a lot of things happening, and don't mention anything of Hylasera, the Summer Court, her life even as Gwen. Um, but as you kind of like thumb through looking for anything relevant, you do find one book that starts to talk about her friend Omar, and so you pay more attention to these chapters. Um, and she laments and bemoans the magical impact of her anytime she attempts to cast a spell, even with good nature. Uh, People get hurt. She breaks things. She burns things. It leads to a great deal of frustration, which inevitably brings you to chapters about the Lexi Conclave. And go ahead and make an investigation check as you kind of attempt to like get back through the pages to determine how long it takes you to kind of find these things.
Said investigation.
Yes, sir.
Oh no, that's a 7.
Okay. It is quite late in the night, um, and you've been distracted by talking to Branwen, who is kind of not giving you the cold shoulder, but definitely just distant. Um, and it just takes you a bit of time to kind of sift through these pages. But inevitably, you do find a section of the book that starts to document her study at the lexicon at the Ashenborn, which in her words is described as being quite novel. It's very new. Uh, it's really just like a group of people who they don't have anything. They don't have any knowledge. They have very little history of the world beyond it. And they don't. She laments that they don't seem to care about her stories of the days before, as she quotes it, and that you can tell there's a growing animosity between her and the Lexi Conclave for not being leveraged for her infinite insight. But she's at the very least grateful for them for helping her to learn a little more about her condition. Inevitably, she shares that um, having discovered and repurposed Celesite, there is a ritual uh, which is called, which she calls, the untethered soul, which would allow her to hone and anchor her wild magic essence to be able to control it. She doesn't describe it in great detail, but you get the sense that you might be able to do this. And in reading on, you learn that she describes it very ambiguously. She describes a voice that spoke to her, a voice she was not willing to answer because it would not reveal itself. And inevitably, it asked too much of her, where she wanted to remain wholly, completely, unambiguously Guinevere Knightley. But by the end of kind of reading through this, you feel you could do this, and you at least know that you wouldn't have to go through with it.
Wouldn't have to what?
You wouldn't have to go through with it if you did it.
Oh,
Or at the very least, Gwen did. And you have everything you need to do it.
hmm. A Branwen.
Hmm?
You think I should uh make Draken Voss my soul tap anchor thing?
I'm going
I think it's
I'm
kind of like
sorry.
putting somebody in an orb.
What?
to interject real quick that it's not a person, but a thing, which is a rock.
Oh,
Yeah, a piece of celestite specifically.
okay.
Yes, not a
You
person.
could like tether yourself to like one of his like kidney stones or something. Branwen does not say that.
Gross.
What? Sorry.
Oh,
What?
never mind.
Going
How are
on
you
with you,
doing,
Dunk?
by the way?
What?
How are you? Like, you doing okay?
Oh, it's fine. It's not. It's just like an everyday thing where suddenly you find out that you're, you know, burdened slash gifted with some new power, and your friend's immediate first reaction is abject horror. So,
Well, you have to understand, to see you suddenly disappear underwater like that when you've
oh, I don't
already
think he was
been.
really concerned about that part at all.
I think so. I think he was concerned about somebody suddenly being dragged underwater and we don't know why. Um, but my point is, like, we were concerned for you too,
Are you speaking
and I hope.
loudly?
I would say at this point, like Willem, you are asleep unless you have made
I
the.
am not sleeping. I am staying awake with my eyes fixed on that fucking lake.
Okay. You can make a perception check to try to overhear them.
I'm glad we're back in conflict, guys.
It didn't take long.
It's the down.
Eventually.
It's an 11 for perception.
Yeah, you're too laser focused on kind of staring at the lake to really to overhear their conversation, but you can see Dunk and Branwen kind of standing off to the side of camp. You have a very small campfire going. Um, you can see Randy with their wings kind of folded around themselves, sleeping, and Cena with their
Aw.
back to you, uh, sleeping.
It doesn't feel like you're and it doesn't feel like you're concerned for me. It
I'm
sounds
not
more like they're
I'm not
scared of
there,
me.
right?
No, you are not there.
Okay.
It's just
I was just
Duncan
making
Brent
she's
at the
not
moment.
talking to me.
Yeah.
And then somehow scared that I'm gonna do something horrible with this, which feels great.
I mean, I think Willem is scared of what could potentially happen, but like,
Like what?
I guess that's the thing. Like, this is so, like, I, we don't know anything about this, and so
Yeah, neither do I.
yeah, and so we're just trying to find out together.
It doesn't feel like that at all.
Well, I'm sorry we made you feel that way, and I'm gonna go back to the book.
Branwen, are you taking a rest at any point tonight, or are you going to stay up?
I don't think Branwen will go to sleep.
Okay. Um, Dunk, I assume you do, unless you also don't take a rest. Okay. Willem, do you ever go to rest?
I would like to go and sit by Branwen and try to talk to her.
Okay. You may.
Hello?
You can go back to sleep. I'm keeping watch.
Nope. Appreciate it though. You can take a rest if you'd like.
I just don't respond to that.
I wave my hand in front of your face. Are you in one of your prancy things that you do? Because you don't sleep?
No,
Oh. Well.
I'm keeping watch.
Yep. I'm keeping watch with you, I guess.
Both of you can make perception checks.
17.
Don't notice anything out of the
Um,
ordinary.
19.
You continue to hear the occasional low ribbit of a frog, but you don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Oh my gosh, Will doesn't hear anything, but I get to hear frogs.
No, you both hear that.
Oh, I thought I was special.
I feel like I should explain myself and then give you an opportunity to explain yourself also. Because it seems like there's some tension. So, yeah, does that sound amenable to you?
Go ahead.
So, I saw you stand on the edge of a lake that I had seen weird ripples in the middle of the night and heard moaning on the wind, and then you
It
disappeared.
was never night. It
was never nighttime.
We
never
got
night.
here at. Did we not get here at night?
Dusk.
No.
Dusk.
Okay, I thought we got here at night. Clearly, a large misunderstanding on my part. Anyway, dusk, and you disappeared, and then you came back, told me you had been to another world, brought a sleeping man who couldn't see or hear you and can't hear your name, who wandered off to find some seal woman who was parted from him for some unexplained reason. A lot of very concerning things happened in a very short amount of time. We have very important places to go and things to be. We don't understand this. And so I am treating it with a decent amount of fear, skepticism, and respect. I understand this is part of your job and you're probably curious. And I understand that being scared might feel like a little bit of a rejection of you or who you are, but that's not the case or was not intended to be the case. It's more I worry about what happens when we mess around with things that we don't understand because we tend to do that a lot and oftentimes doesn't really work out.
I feel like you're really anticipating for me to mess this up.
It's not even that I'm anticipating that you're going going to mess it up. It's just you're going into this without any idea what it is you're doing or what's supposed to happen or what this is. So frankly, the chances of you making mistakes and such are kind of high when you don't understand anything, which is why I suggested that we should talk to somebody who might be more informed.
There are very few people who are going to be informed about this.
And we happen to know at least one of them.
I don't think that even the Earl King would know a lot about this.
Well, he had the power to name you it, so he must have some understanding, is my best guess. But then again, I'm not from here.
I mean, for all I can tell, it's just I don't really know fully what his motivations are, but I know that it was a loaded deal for sure. But this is one of those things that I'm pretty sure you have to figure it out yourself. I'm not going to be able to go ask somebody, "Oh, how do I be the lady of the lake?" They're not going to be able to tell me. The only people that are going to be able to tell me are the previous ladies of the lake. And so far, they've told me some things, but that was when I was in the lake.
Do you know that, or do you just think you know that? Like, do you know in your heart, mind, body, spirit, or are you just like, oh, I really strongly feel this way?
I don't know, okay?
Okay, yeah, and that's fine. Remember the way you chastised me correctly when you found out that I had been messing with the deck? Kind of how I feel about this.
I don't think it's the same way thing at all.
You're Lady of the Ebonlake. I'm the protector of the deck of many things.
I hope that felt as terrible when you said it as it really did sound.
Felt pretty good.
Sorry.
You know what? Sure, Willem. Those are exactly the same thing. I'll think about that for the rest of the night, and maybe it'll really just come to me.
I'm just concerned and we have a lot of jobs to do, okay? I don't think this is the time to mess around with it, but if it's something you have to do, I'm not your supervisor. Do what you need to. Just be mindful about who might get caught in the crossfire.
Yep, loud and clear. Hi, Laura.
Okay.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Laura. Laura,
Oh, she's
Laura,
saying hi.
Laura,
She can't.
Laura. Hi.
Sorry, I forgot she couldn't hear you.
Right. So, Willem, will you be resting at all, or are you going to take the whole rest of the next watch?
Just go to sleep.
Nope.
Go to sleep because I would like to talk to Cena.
So talk to Cena on the other side of camp. Or I can move away to the other side of camp. I'm not going to sleep. You know what? I'll move. And I will get up and move approximately 300 feet away and just sit down and start polishing my sword.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill Willem. I'm gonna kill Willem.
The fact that you really want me to go to sleep doesn't
I just
feel
want
good.
some privacy, you son of a bitch.
And you'll have it because I'm going to be 300, maybe 400 feet away that way. I'll plug my ears if you want me to.
Right. As Willem pops off, Branwen, you can see that Cena has
You
her
psychopath.
is kind of like laying in like a kind of like a fetal position away from you, somewhat adjacent to Randy.
Um, I'll just message her in her head and be like, "Hey, you up?" But in a nice way.
She replies softly in your mind. Yeah, I'm up.
You never. You can go back to sleep. Sorry.
I wasn't sleeping.
Oh, cool.
And she'll kind of like pulls the blanket that she has around herself, and she's gonna come and kind of sit next to you. She remains very quiet for a pretty extended period of time. She does not immediately kind of acknowledge you as you approach, or as she approaches you.
There's something that I haven't been telling you guys about this lake and kind of what comes with it.
Yeah.
You know how Randy thought he was immortal for a while and how he couldn't die? Um, so that's kind of real for me now.
I do.
Wait, what'd you say?
I know.
How? How? What do you know about this place?
You know, it rejected me. And then you know I tried to kill you. It previous version of you, I guess.
Did she try to make you go through this?
I did.
Why?
I wanted to escape. I wanted to be anywhere there. And you, that person told me I was a blight.
That you weren't what? You weren't.
That I was a blight. And that I couldn't come here.
That they what? Sorry, I did not.
That I couldn't come here.
Well, don't know what happened to her, but that was her choice. That wouldn't be my choice.
I proved them right. I did.
How?
do the only thing I. I'm a different person now. I tried to kill her. You're immortal, so I guess it didn't work, but you're it now. So maybe it did.
I mean, for all I know, the Earl King killed her. Or just once he named me, she just stopped being. I don't think you did anything to get rid of her.
It's hard not to think that. And now they say that bad people get what's coming for them. I did that. Maybe I didn't, but in my head, I did that. And I met him. She looked like you, but you weren't like her. And you were you were kind to me. And bad people get what's coming to them. And now you can't be with someone who's gonna waste away. You live forever. This is all above me, beyond me. Bad people get what's coming to them.
I'm just gonna snuggle under the blanket with her.
For the first time in a very long time, she lets you under, but she kind of pulls away just a little bit.
I am going to be stuck to your side however old you are. As long as you'll still take me.
It's a really long time.
And who knows, maybe we'll like find a way to make you immortal too. Maybe there's a loophole where there can be like two ladies of the lake and oops, both immortal. This is a problem for when all of this crazy stuff is over.
Here's one more thing. She knows I came here. She knows I wanted it. And she knows why. And if you're the key now, she can't know that.
That's a problem for when we get to it. Maybe we should also probably tell Randy not to go around telling everyone that we need exactly who we are all the time.
Unfortunately, you're kind of distracted as the sun begins to rise over the glistening black waters of the Ebonlake before you. And Cena, Branwen, and Willem all incur a level of exhaustion for having not taken a long rest. And the day is yours.
I bet there's a way to add levels of exhaustion on this fancy sheet, but I don't know how.
I think there is bottom left corner of a second or third page. I think
Second or third page?
I'll explore afterwards. But just I'll remember that you have it.
So much stuff on here.
Well, the day is yours.
Okie dokie.
This stop has been a barrel of laughs. Do we want to just move on to the next one, or
Yes.
unless
Three,
when you had anything else you had to do here? If not, then let's boogie.
the three of you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Oh, one other thing that I would like to have done while sitting in nice little long periods of silence. Could I have attuned to Excalibur
Oh yeah, totally.
while at the lake? That just feels like a good place to do it.
Indeed.
Anything happen if I just dip this sword in the lake a little bit?
No,
I do that as we're all getting ready.
Nothing
Just like
occurs.
stirring the lake like it's soup.
All of you kind of hear a bit of sloshing, but you don't hear anything at all. Feeling.
Thought I would do something cool.
Taken to the sky once more.
Dunk, you gotta drive today. I'm gonna try to nap on the back of the Griffin.
Can do, boss.
Do we have a 20-foot length of hempen rope because we're adventurers?
You do. I would
Of
assume
course.
in your inventory.
I'm gonna tie myself to Dunk on the
Okay.
Griffin so I don't accidentally fall off if I slacken
Like-
my grip.
Wait, but I think we need to tie ourselves to the griffin, right? Because
Sure.
otherwise we're just both gonna fall off.
Yeah, it's true.
Willem the dunk and dunk to the griffin.
Cena, do you want? Is it better if you sit in the front or sit in the back?
No, it's okay. I'll take the back.
Do you need to also? Do you want to also just tie us to each other and then also to the griffin?
That's okay. I'll just hold on tight.
Can I roll an insight check for Trouble in Paradise?
You certainly can.
23.
Damn.
Cena looks disgruntled and like upset, but you can't tell if it's like at Branwen or just like generally.
Okay.
It's just general self-loathing.
Yeah. It feels more self-loathing than loathing Branwen.
Very apt for this group.
I'm like putting little flowers in her hair.
And she kind of just
They're
goes,
all blue. They're all blue.
And then we start flagging, they all fly out immediately.
indeed. Unless anyone else has anything to do before the day begins, you kick off from your griffins, or from the ground on your griffins, and Randy, you kind of get a running start and catch up to them. And you soar high above the vast obsidian surface of the Ebonlake and begin your journey south over hues of pastel greens, and suddenly the pines and high mushroom forests of the wild begin to give way to oddly colored trees and very like peculiar branches and mushrooms, and the trees start to kind of sway beneath you a bit unnaturally, some in a rhythm, others kind of twisting and undulating. Others almost like seem to like kind of jitter and like hold their branches up as though they're kind of look like they're gossiping. And there's kind of like a bit of shifting of fog that kind of clings to the canopies. Randy, make a perception check.
Oh no. 11.
You're kind of catching these scents of honey, mint, but it all feels very sweet, like almost too sweet, uh, as if like the aroma might intoxicate you if you breathe too deeply. And as you fly for about an hour or two, like the sun is now relatively like kind of it's about late morning. Um, you're kind of like intoxicated by some lights that seem to dance amongst the trees below that now kind of fade away in the morning light. Uh, make a Arcana check.
25.
Something doesn't feel right here. You almost feel like a magical pull downward, almost like a command spoken from the forest itself.
Uh, just me?
You're the only
Or I
one
can
kind of like acknowledging it,
okay.
but Branwen and Duncan make animal handling checks.
That's
6.
a 6 for me.
10.
Okay, yeah. So suddenly the griffins begin to kind of falter. Their wings start to lose a bit of rhythm. Um, and all of you can make perception checks. As the griffins, like, you try to calm them, but you can sense their panic. Like your attempt, like you can feel their immediate, like kind of like you can see them descending and their wings kind of twitching a bit. And you're like, hey, Maple, Amber. You kind of like try to collect them, and they just seem to kind of feel pulled closer and closer to the ground.
I got a 23.
I got a
Uh,
19.
16. It would have been a natural 20 if I wasn't so
17.
sleepy.
Okay, 17. Yes, don't
Oh,
forget
I
those
have
of you.
disadvantage. Sorry,
Yes.
5.
Okay. All everybody but Willem and Cena. Everybody but Willem and Cena here. Was like a little bit of a playful giggle kind of surface up from the forest.
Is it
And
giving spring court?
Branwen, you would know that you are indeed flying over the spring court.
Oh shit.
And all your mounts seem to kind of dive, spiraling downward towards the dense canopy of this forest. And Randy, you can make an insight check as you're kind of still like fully control of your faculties.
15.
You're kind of looking at these creatures, and you can see that they might not be able to like have the critical thinking skills to question this decision.
All right.
Um, and you watch from high up on high as the griffins kind of crash through the canopy of the forest. Uh, and the question is up to you if you join them down there.
He just keeps
Uh,
going. He's got places to be.
no, I definitely kind of go nearer, but I'm going to be very cautious about it
Okay,
for
so
the
you're
first time ever.
are you gonna not go through the canopy? You're gonna stay above the canopy.
Is there any way that I can like stay above the canopy but still kind of keep an
Can he
eye
like
on
land
what's
in the
going on?
trees? Like
You could land in the trees and have a clear view, or you could not break the canopy and have disadvantage on perception checks.
Um, I'll I'll take the disadvantage.
Okay, so you stay above the tree line for now, and you kind of lose for just a moment. The rest of you can see, like, with a sudden jolt, the griffins kind of land in a somewhat of a clearing, but still a very dense forest. Um, Nothing really seems quite right. the mushrooms kind of dance in a very slow circle, and you can almost hear like a tune on the wind, like a almost like from a glass made flute. Everything
I
feels
am
very
going.
light, airy.
I am going to take out my fiddle and begin playing what I'm going to describe as the musical opposite of whatever that tune is. And I'm going to start a counter charm.
Okay. Randy?
So while I'm playing that, everyone in earshot or 30 feet has advantage on saves against being frightened or charmed.
Okay. Randy?
I'm gonna cast clairvoyance though, so I can kind of see what's going on down there.
Okay, what are the exact specifications of clairvoyance?
It's the one that I use to like see behind doors and stuff.
Oh,
I
okay,
can
got
either
it,
see or,
yes.
or hear from it. I'm just gonna see from it, but I assume that I can hear most things pretty okay from it.
Understood. All of you can make animal handling checks that aren't Randy.
That's a 10.
19.
Okay.
Also a 10.
Dunk and no, just Dunk. You can tell that the griffins are quite spooked. Their feathers kind of puff up. They're kind of like.
But Chris, me and creatures within 10 feet of me can't be frightened while I'm.
They're still spooked. They might not be frightened. They are uncomfortable. They're still animals.
Tell me what the difference is.
They're
Yes.
creatures.
Frightened is a condition. Spooked is like, I'm nervous. Like he's reading their general emotions, not their condition.
They have Steph disease. They have anxiety now.
Willem might have been frightened by what happened with Branwen, but he was not frightened, but he
But he
made
was
spooked.
nervous.
He was
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or spooked.
I was
yes.
certainly unnerved. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Spooked.
And then what were your perception checks?
Brand.
Did we make another one?
Perception checks.
Yeah, you can make it. You can
Actually,
We just made animal handlings, but
yeah,
we
you
haven't
can
made
make
another
perception
check.
checks.
Hey!
Oh, Randy, you can see through the tree line.
Yeah.
Okay.
15.
I got a 26.
22.
So I'm gonna send Randy a note because he can see through things. And Dunk and who got a 16?
I got a 15.
Okay, Duncan Branwen. You can hear, you hear like orchestral tunes of like what happens when a band practices before going live. Let me just send Randy a note.
Guys, music playing in the middle of the woods, always bad.
Always bad.
Always bad.
It's not a party.
This is the kind of, well, it is a party, but it's usually the kind where like you get to start dancing and you're like, wow, this is really fun. I can't stop dancing. My legs are fracturing under me because I can't stop dancing. That's the kind of vibe.
I just read the wiki article on Dancing Mania last night.
I do nothing.
Okay.
So what do we do? Calm down the birds and then go back?
Yes. Yes.
Has anybody
I'm-
fed them today?
Oh shit.
I am busy playing this fiddle just in case.
I'm gonna reach into the
Into the
sack
bag of
lunch.
meat.
Yeah.
They're
Bag of
saddlebags.
meat. Saddlebags, yes, and
Pull out some
offer.
salami.
It's
offer
actually just
snacks.
like raw, kind of bloodied pieces of meat.
Aw.
Gross.
Griffins can have little salami as a treat.
Branwen, as you play your fiddle, Dunk, you're feeding Amber and Maple, and they are nervously eating. They're taking it, and they're quite ravenous as they were not fed this morning. And I will be taking notes of when you tell me you feed them or not.
Wait, okay, we actually have, okay. I'm writing
Yes.
that in my notes.
And these are living creatures, and I'm not taking care of them for you. And I knew if I gave you griffins, I'd be responsible for taking care of them. Um, so as you're playing your little tune, you hear a voice. Who's playing that tune? That's not going with my symphony. And the music that you were hearing stops.
I pause.
Make a perception check.
With disadvantage, cause I'm so sleepy. That's a 9.
9. It's
Mhm.
not doesn't take much. You hear rustling and bustling, snapping twigs, crunching leaves, hopping,
Oh,
and
What?
all of a
funny people.
sudden, from the underbrush, a small frog leaps out, and he's walking on 2 legs, and he's wearing a very fine ascot, and like
Hello, my
kind of
baby.
like
Hello, my honey.
the like
Oh, my
pairing of like
red
a
flag,
three-piece
yeah.
suit. He goes, "Now, well, who is this off the beaten track?"
Uh, hey man.
Hello.
Uh, what's your name?
Well, I'm Red Whack.
Say that again, please.
I'm Red Whack, and
Rip.
this is Red Whack Symphony. And quite a few more frogs start to kind of hop out, many of them holding saxophones, trumpets, and violins.
Your
What
music scared our griffins.
what brings you off the beaten track? Right into
Your
the
music's
rehearsal of old Red Whack.
you did because your music scared our griffins, and we would like to get
Oh,
back in
don't you
there.
fret. Don't you look so grim. The fun starts here. Let's jump in. The vines will tickle, the vines might pep. Careful where you sit, because every twig hides some strange thing. Listen to her, lady. Stars waltz by while flowers bloom. We play all night and laugh all day. In the Milkwood Grove, that's Darway. That guy, yeah. We do things with a fake kind of twist. Up is down, and well, right's been missed. The fortune's near with just out of reach, but the rules, well, they change just more than you speak. The maze will spin and the lights will gleam. Is it real or just a dream? The kiss, a dance, a riddle's prize. Our death's disguised in sweet surprise. Try to keep up now, huh? Paths will cross and steps may stray. You wander too long, you might lose the day. The winds may whisper secrets dear, but listen close, they're gonna twist what you hear. They are always lying, try to gain a friend. But every relationship has its end. You owe the grove, or does it owe you? It's hard to tell, depends on who you knew. So take a step, or maybe two. The path won't hold, it's all brand new. Here in the grove, there's no wrong way, and if there is, well, we'll change it anyway. I like that, but the beat, the saxophones, you were a little sharp, and I wanted you quite on my tempo, and you all really weren't there. So I need you to pick it up if we're gonna do that again. Do you want us to take it from the top?
Yes.
No, that's okay. I understand you put a lot of effort into preparing that. It was great, but we gotta go.
Well, already? Well, did you not like the
Yes.
song?
Oh no,
It's a good song.
it was great. And like I said,
Not porn
clearly you had put
material
a
for
lot of
sure.
effort into it. Yeah.
Ska. Well,
Like ska.
I'm just gonna try. Hold on. Do you want me to? I feel like I need to play it again. You don't. Typically, we get applause after we perform. Guys, why don't you give us a minute? And the rest of the frogs start to kind of scatter. Just, I know I missed a few lines, but well, we're not used to having people kind of drop in on rehearsal. Uh, Felt like it all could have been a little kinder just then.
Please understand we're a bit wary.
From
Also,
above the
I mean, it was
canopy.
very good.
Oh,
you
what?
also did make our griffins fall out of the sky, so
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, riffings! Wow, we haven't seen any of those in a long time. Well, I assure you, it wasn't me specifically. The Milkwood Grove has its effect on people. Didn't you listen?
Insight check.
Didn't you listen to the song? I kind of explained the whole
Well,
thing.
Yeah, it sounds like it's cool for you, but not really something that I should get tangled up in.
Where you
He's a
from?
lightweight.
somewhere that would be much helped by your music.
Oh,
Probably.
well, we're always looking to go on tour. I gotta say, a lot of folks, a lot kinder to us. Um, I think I'm gonna go. Uh,
Randy goes down.
Oh,
He goes through the canopy and he lands.
oh, oh, I hate that
He
big
goes,
fella.
that was the most wonderful music I've ever seen and
Ah,
heard.
well,
Dude,
thank
Branwen's
you.
right there.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
It's
you
fine.
you were the one that was scatting over here. Listen, we already got a first violin and a second violin. Well, what happened to Daryl? We could use a sixth violin, and you got the talent, kid. But it's just it's the timing of it all. And you heard them; they don't really keep pace that well. Some of them are too slow, some of them are too fast, and my lyrics are a step behind. We got a lot of work to do. Red Wax Symphony Band is not quite ready for prime time, but well, I
Wait,
appreciate the
wait,
kind words of this fella. The rest of
wait.
you,
Slow down for a second.
yes.
Honest question. Are you in any way trying to bamboozle us and or charm us and or trick us in any way through the power of music?
He is very charming.
I mean, yeah, it's just
I'm just humble Redwack. But if you listen to my song, which I, I felt like you were, but maybe you were
it was slightly foreboding.
thinking on other things. Well, yeah, the Milkwood Grove is a peculiar place. In the background, you hear "peculiar place." Not now, Greg. Um, and he's gonna go. Okay. It's just it's a hard place, and for newcomers, we that's like kind of our go-to song. You saying you felt drawn down here? Well, I said that in my song. It happens to people. Um,
And Griffins,
you,
evidently.
you ought to be a little bit kinder to the strangers. If this is how you greet everyone you meet, well, this place is not going to be kind to you.
Again, you in the Milkwood Grove did pull us down from the air, which
I
felt a
did
little
no such
unkind.
thing. You're throwing accusations around here, horny boy. You know what? I think I gotta go. I thought we was doing a service to a kind traveler who found themselves stumbled into the Milkwood Grove, and here we are, found a couple of charlatans.
Hey,
Charlatans.
oh well.
Wait,
hey,
We
just
appreciate
a
the
second.
arts.
Just so you know, if it helps at all, we're coming from a place where a lot of people were just real two-faced, so we're a little distrusting off the top. But
That's
if you ever
understandable.
find yourself in Silverhaven, there's a guy named Seabass. That's my dad. He's taught me how to play. He makes little things out of sea glass.
Um, well, that's mighty fine. I recommend you take my song as a bit of a guide for what's to
Do you have
come.
written lyrics?
I could share them with you, yeah.
Thank
But
you.
they are mine, intellectual property. Um,
Understand.
and well, listen, I wish you the best of luck in getting out, but I promise you, it wasn't me that brought you down here. Um, so you can stop throwing your accusations. And he kind of so also this is a frog. She's very small, and he kind of looks up at you
God.
angrily, Willem, and just kind of like tightens his ascot, and then goes, "Ska, ska, skiddity da," and he starts to hop away.
No,
want
I
to tell
was
you guys to be nice to some frogs.
Again, pulled us out of the sky.
No, they
It
did.
wasn't his fault.
It was the forest. The forest
Why do
has.
you believe him? This is
'Cause
obviously some
I know shit about
enchanting
magic.
bullshit. So do I.
I could sense that it was alluring. The forest itself.
And I'm sure
It
the
is worth it.
music doesn't really deter
No, the
people
music
from
was
being
a separate
allured.
thing. The music was just frogs having fun, man. You're gonna let
Again, frogs can have fun, but maybe frogs shouldn't have fun inside of a forest that might try to trap people inside of it. Why can't the frogs have
It's,
fun somewhere else?
when
it's
is
where do they
that?
live?
What do you have to be paranoid about?
I don't know, did you listen to the song? And he would when he said, "Good luck getting out?"
It's very easy.
Show us.
I
Please.
fly out.
As you fly out, you reach the top of the tree line and you kind of flutter up through the ground, and you find yourself staring at your companions once more, as though you were reset to the ground.
Excellent.
Good job getting out.
Thank you, man. Let's go in a direction.
Well, luckily, because I am now the Green Knight, I have verdant stride, which means my allies and I always know the fastest route while traveling overland through the Feywild, even through unfamiliar terrain, and we never leave tracks unless I wish them to.
That's sick.
Look at Chris's face, just kind
He
of
forgot
dying a little
he
bit
gave me
inside.
that.
Nope, you don't know where you're going.
I
I know
do.
the fastest way out, even through unfamiliar terrain.
Yeah, out here you don't.
Oh, seems like you might be breaking your own rules a little bit
It
there.
sounds like God said no.
Seeing what just happened with Randy, I'm going to start digging with my hands
Okay, you're in a diggy diggy
in the
hole.
dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
What are
no.
you um
See, so he
doing
went up.
besides digging? Yeah.
He went up and came like down. So if I go down,
Why down and not through, man?
through what?
The woods?
Well, no. If so, in the song it said left
Let
is
him
right,
do the bit.
right? So if Randy went up and came down, then I'm gonna go down,
All right.
and
No,
we'll
that's
go up.
smart. That's smart.
You just keep digging.
I'm gonna. Okay. Am I like how far am I able to dig
With
with
just
just my
your
hands?
hands, you're able to get like a decent sized hole, like where you might bury a nut or an acorn to plant a tree. Um, but it your friends kind of just look on for 20 minutes, and Cena just goes,
20
okay.
minutes?
And Cena just goes, okay, this is taking a long time.
Okay, I thought he would give up by now. I think
Well,
All right.
I guess if nobody's gonna help me dig a hole, then
Hey, the ground is like really deep.
Um,
we don't know that here.
a soft giggle floats on the wind. Exactly, just like that. And a voice rings out. To leave this place, you must earn the grove's favor. Choose wisely, and you are free. Choose poorly, and you will remain. Um, and each of you kind of look up and see the undergrowth kind of peel back like a stage curtain to reveal three tall figures, their forms entwined with blooming vines and leaves. Each one wears a flowing cloak and a gleaming mask, painted with exaggerated emotions. One joy, one sorrow, and one curiosity.
so. Just for me being a silly goose, we need to pick a figure, or they're what?
With a
Hello,
full...
three beings.
Hello. As you speak to them, they speak back in unison. So they all kind of like talk over each other. And you could hear kind of inflections in their voice that match their particular mask. Um, with a flick of their hand in unison, they kind of gesture across. Three objects hover into view. Specifically, a golden acorn, a thin ribbon of black and white, and a small crystal cage with a burning green flame floating inside of it.
Okay. What are these?
We just showed you the golden acorn, a ribbon of starlight, the caged flame.
Do
What
you
would you
want
like
them?
us to do about it?
Oh dear. Questions spoil the game, silly. You must take a favor to earn the favor, but choose wisely.
I choose the cage.
You
Wait,
just-
which one's in front of the curiosity one?
they all kind of float, like they're like in a floating ring, where they
I see.
like pass in front of each of the individuals. Is there anything you'd like to do prior to making a decision, or are you just going for the
Wait.
cage?
So we have take a favor to earn a favor. Do we have to?
I'm partial to the starlight ribbon just because it sounds pretty.
There's also 5 of us and 3 favors, so 2 people aren't getting any.
I think
I
we're
think
just
we choose
picking
one as a group.
one.
Oh, well.
Um,
Can I cast Identify on the cage?
Don't cast Identify, use Pietro.
yeah.
You're right. We have Pietro. What am I
We
doing?
get one for free.
I take out Pietro and I go, Pietro, identify.
Uh, he looks at the cage. My notes here. Okay. The green flame of the crystal cage. Agitated. A promise waiting to be broken. But
Please say
be
that again.
the green flame in the crystal cage. Alive. Agitated. A promise waiting to be broken. But be wary.
Be wary of what, Pietro?
Every day, trivial or meaningful promises vanish from your mind. You will not remember. Curiosity speaks. What a peculiar creature. While sorrow. We grow tired of guests who refuse our hospitality. Choose a favor or stay forever.
Starlight.
Can I,
Starlight.
oh, can I cast Identify on the ribbon though?
You personally are going to cast Identify on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember that Pietro's Identify is a little fun. Tells you everything.
I know, but
Yeah.
he'll also take a year of my life if I use him again.
I'll use them.
Okay.
Pietro,
You'll lose
identify.
a year of your life. You're cool with that?
Wait. Here, give me Pietro.
It's
Wait.
per person.
Oh, I thought it was.
It's not per person.
No,
It's
we get
one
one
per
per
day.
day as a
Yes.
group.
Got it. Then yeah, I'll
Okay.
cast it by myself on the.
Or was
ribbon.
Branwen taking Pietro?
I can take Pietro.
Branwen, you've
Oh
already
yeah,
lost.
because you live forever.
Oh, I guess that's true.
I don't know that.
Oh wait, yeah, we don't. Okay. Branwen, you've lost enough. I'm still pretty.
No, this is good.
Randy
sure?
can use this spell without costing anybody any life.
Yeah, but
Oh.
Pietro's
Yeah.
cool.
So are you, sometimes.
It's only 1 year. I mean,
I
I'm
use
going
Pietro.
board. I'm the ribbon of starlight, woven from strands of celestial energy long ago. It binds the souls of two together forever. But be wary, souls can become twisted and knotted, and each morning you're bound to the actions and moods of the other.
I take the
Uh,
starlight ribbon.
okay.
Curiosity gives a polite, if disappointed, nod. A choice made. Not the best, but not the worst. You can go! And with a subtle kind of snap of their fingers, a portal opens, and you can kind of see the sky above right in front of you. So the portal kind of opens, and you can see almost like the game portal, where one appears up in the sky and another in um, other in front of you, and the curiosity and sorrow vanish while joy lingers. The grove always keeps a token. One day, you'll see. And she vanishes.
That was very easy.
Other than the fact that she just picked up a cursed item and was
No,
left with an ominous warning. Yeah.
that was just like an advanced marriage ring.
I'm not using it like now.
Branwen. Never mind. We'll handle it over DM.
I think you might not have a choice.
Oh.
Raymond's going through a lot this sesh.
Yeah. Actually, I will have you do it now because it's fun. Pick a number between 100.
Oh, fuck.
0 and 115.
And 115. Oh no.
That is
That's how
every
old I
single
am.
NPC that Chris has made.
You know what I gotta do? 69.
69.
Nice. Okay. All good.
No, it's not. Oh, spring court, you fickle mistress.
I've ever told you guys how much I miss the material plane sometimes.
We can tell right now very specifically within the past 2 days.
So we're gonna fly, or we're gonna stick around here.
Wait,
Let's
they are
leave.
saying a port. Wait, didn't they just leave the portal?
Yeah, the portal
Yeah.
opens up to the sky so that you can like basically
Oh,
like
okay.
run your
Yeah, let's
griffins
go.
through it.
Yeah.
All right. You take
Yeah.
off into the sky, um, and as you kind of leave the Milkwood Grove behind, Willem, you hear a familiar voice in your mind, that of Limmy. There are many souls to take there. One who takes too many. You will need to return to this place.
Okay.
As you continue flying, you can see the coastline ahead, kind of the raging, distant, almost endless sea. Uh, Randy, as you beat your wings and continue your flight on, you can see it's still some ways off, but you can see like on the horizon line where the ocean and the water seems to kind of drop off, where you feel a pull and a longing to from the time before all of this. Um, but the question kind of looms in your minds of whether or not you will visit Hapsfield's Landing or press on to the Winter Court.
I would like to.
I think we should fix our bounty problem now.
I mean, better get it over with. So it's
Feel
not.
like we're in some Randy business territory, so
This is all of our business here.
Specifically, you two with the bounty. You have the most money on your heads for some reason.
look at me.
Well, we're the most powerful.
Remember when I almost killed Branwen in one turn 2 sessions ago?
Yeah, good thing it
Yeah,
wasn't.
but now. Oh, never mind. That was
That's
pretty.
crazy.
Yeah, that
I
was.
was rooting for
You
you, bud.
almost killed our friend.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
crazy.
that fight that I had planned this entire time to lose. It's crazy.
Nice.
All right, let's land.
Okay. It'll still take you some time, but you can kind of see a burgeoning coastline town, small. Um, it doesn't look like any great shakes. A handful of shacks kind of cobbled together. Um, it'll still take you a couple of hours, you imagine, to kind of get down there and continue your descent. Um, and so we will go ahead and end our session there this evening. As a reminder to our faithful watcher, we are off next week as some of us are traveling. But we will look forward
We
to
are fuck.
one of us is. Yes. Typically the DM.
No.
Yeah. So we look forward to seeing you all not on Wednesday the 6th, but Wednesday the 13th of November. And we look forward to seeing you again then. We thank you for tuning in and joining us this evening. And as always, we wish you a happy week and a happy weekend. And you can always check us out and all of our previous sessions at youtube.com/at20hot, where the previous 2 sessions will be uploaded. So if you want to like binge through all 77 episodes, give or take, plus or minus 1 or 2, now's the time because things are getting real. Right? So, as always, hope you have a great night, great time. Thank you all. Bye,
Bye,
Zombie.
Bye bye,
Zomboy.
zombie.